Hello. All right, so today for your math mini lesson, we are going to do subtraction again, but we're going to do it with zeros. So I have right now on the screen 404 minus 132. Notice that the zeros in the tens place. So what I want us to refresh our memory on is subtracting with zeros because sometimes it can be a little different and tricky. So like always, we always are going to start in our ones place, always our ones place. And you can also draw your hundreds chart. And now I'm taking my time when I draw it to make sure, it's neat. So next, just like we talked about yesterday, we have our number bond, okay? So your whole, when subtracting, is that bigger number. That's going to go in our top box, our whole, okay? Your part is 132. We are not sure of our other part. But remember, one of the strategies we've been using is to make the connection that the whole, when it's up top, I wish you could see me pointing. The whole, when it's up top, we'll do pink. This, okay? And the part, if you're missing another part, you're always going to use subtraction. That's why we draw these, okay? And then when we're done, we're going to go back and use addition. So let's start. We are going to draw 404. So I have 400, no 10, so I don't do anything. And I go to my ones place and I draw my 4 ones. So now I have the number 132. Again, always starting in your ones place, you have 4 minus 2. Can you do it? Yes, you can. 4 is the bigger number. So I'm going to cross off 2 and actually can get my colors out again. So I'm going to cross these 2 off, okay? And that leaves me with 2 left. Now I have to go to my hundreds place. Now in my hundreds place, I have nothing. There's a 0 there. But I'm subtracting 3 from 0. Actually, I'm subtracting 3 from 0. Sorry. So what I have to do is go to that neighbor in your hundreds place. You're going to unbundle. So you cross out the 100, bring it over, and that's when we unbundle. We have 10. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, notice how I'm drawing it nice and neatly, taking my time when I'm drawing. So now I can subtract my 3 from the now 10 I have in my tens place. So actually I should change the color so you can see me. And I'm going to cross off 3 tens. And that's going to leave me with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 tens. Now I'm going to go to my hundreds place. In my hundreds place, I have to cross out 1. Now remember, this purple one that I have an X through, we already unbundled it and move it to the tens place. So we ignore that, and all we have to do is cross out 1 more, and that's going to leave us with 2. So the number we got was 272. Let's try it subtracting by drawing by unbundling in our vertical subtraction. So I'm going to start with my 4 minus 2 in my ones place. If I do 4 minus 2, I can do that. 4 minus 2 is going to give me 2. Let's go over to my tens place. I know that I can't subtract, so I have to go over to that neighbor, cross that 4 off, and unbundle 1. The 1 is going to come over here. I keep my 0 in my ones place. When I unbundle 1 from 4, it's going to leave me with 3. So now I can do 3, 10, take away 3, which is going to give me 7. 4, take away 1, which is going to give me 2. So right now, my answer is matching. But remember, we don't just want to stop there. We want to check our work. I don't know. It won't erase. So the next thing we want to do, so I'm going to fill in my missing add-in, which is 272. Then I'm going to go back and check my work. By checking my work, let me get my highlighter out. When I check my work, I have to use this 132 plus 272, and I should get the 404. So let's do that now. I'm going to have to erase this, and I'm going to add 132 plus 272. Let me set that up. I have 132, 272, addition. I start in my ones place. 2 plus 2 is going to give me 4. 7 plus 3. Remember that we're carrying that 1. You can carry it down here or up here at the top, whatever you prefer, whatever you're going to remember. 2 plus 1 is going to give me 3, plus 1 more is going to give me 4, which is my answer right up here. So we, in fact, did do it correctly. Now I'm going to try one more with you, which is going to be a little different. This time, I'm going to have 2 zeros, 1 in my tens place and 1 in my ones place. And we are going to do this together. I want us to remember this. So my number is 500 minus 138. This is the number Miss Hildebrand made up. I'm going to draw my number bond because I really think it helps you visualize your whole and your part in your equation. Okay, so your whole is going to be your 500. Your part, or your add-in, in this case when we check our work, is going to be 138. We're unsure of that other add-in right now, but we are going to solve. So let me draw my hundreds chart. Oops. Okay. You are always only going to draw your whole. So that would be my 500. And in this case, I only have, I'm not going to be able to fit it, 500s. And then I'm going to stop right there. I have no tens and I have no ones, but I still have to subtract 138 from that number. So what I have to do is start in my ones place like always starting with your ones place. If you're looking right here, always start, this is your ones, your tens, and your hundreds. Always start in your ones place. I don't know if this helps, but if you can see it and visualize it. Okay, so I have 0, subtract 8. I can't do that. So I go to my neighbor, which is in my tens place. There is another 0. Neighbor doesn't have anything. You must go over to your hundreds place. Your hundreds place has a 5. You can subtract or you can borrow, unbundle 5. So let's unbundle the 5. So I'm going to cross it off. Ooh, let me get my different color out. I'm going to unbundle the 5, move it over, and I'm going to draw 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. When you're unbundling, you're going to unbundle a 10. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So I unbundled the 10. Now I'm not going to stop there because remember in my ones place, I still have that 0. So I have to unbundle again from my neighbor in the tens place. And I'm going to show this in a different color. So I have to cross off 110, bring it over to my tens place and unbundle that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You're always going to unbundle a 10. That's 10. Now, I should be able to subtract. So let's see. Now in my ones place, and I'm actually going to show you on the chart. So what I did was I crossed off my 5 and I made it a 4 because I unbundled 1. And then I brought it over to the 0 in the tens place and I made this a 9 and the 0 in the ones place is a 10. So if you look down at your place value chart, that is what you're going to see. If you count the place value discs in your chart, in the ones place, you're going to have 10. In the tens place, you're going to have 9. And in the hundreds place, right now you have 4. So now we can go back and subtract. In my tens or in my ones place, I am subtracting 8. So I'm going to do that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That's going to leave me with 2. And I'm going to write that. And I'll write it up here. Now in my tens place, I'm subtracting 3 from 9. So I'm going to cross off 3. Do not cross the green. Do not count the green X you already crossed off. That's something we unbundled. So start fresh. 1, 2, 3. And that leaves me with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 tens. And if I go to my hundreds place, I'm taking 1 away. And that's going to leave me with 3 hundreds. So we got 6 tens and 3 hundreds. So the answer I just got was 362. Okay, so let's go back now and check our work, which is what we've been talking about. So I'm sorry, but I have to erase this. Come on. And when we're checking our work, what we're doing, come on, is we are going to be adding. It's the opposite of subtraction is addition. These two numbers are what we're adding, okay? Because we already subtracted these two numbers. Do you see how the subtraction's there? But now we want to add. So the black lines that I just drew. I've seen some of you in class subtract, so you already solved for your problem and you have 362. You can set it up so it's 100, 138, and you can add right like this if that's easier for you, or you can come off to the side and you can add it right here. Whatever works for you, you can do either way. It will give you the same answer. So I'm going to do it right underneath my subtraction problem. So now I'm going to do 8 plus 2, which is going to give me 10. 6 plus 1 is 7, plus 3 more, giving you that think time. 7 plus 3. It's going to give you another 10. Remember, you can also carry over here, whatever you prefer. 3 plus 1 is 4, plus 1 more is 5. Your whole is 500. So you indeed got it. Okay. Very nice. So remember, if you are going to choose to check your work this way, remember to box your answer, circle your answer, so people know what your answer is, and it's also right here. Okay. So we did get it. Hope you enjoyed this little lesson. I do have a little problem for you to solve today that I created. Let me get that up here really quick so you can always pause your screen and copy it down and solve it yourself. Remember, we're subtracting with zeros. Okay. My problem is 700 minus 345. That is your challenge, second grade. So please complete that. Use your number bonds. Use your place value chart to help you check your work. Remember, the opposite of subtraction is addition. Hope you have a great day, and I will be right back on here tomorrow so we can do another math lesson. Keep practicing.